scarcity poses a lot of problems, leading to the loss of life and the economic loss of over $200 billion around the world. The world needs to achieve the transition to net zero carbon economy by 2050. Without resources, we cannot get there.
If we want actually to have a better world, if we want to have a better lifestyle for the people, we need to add innovation, and I believe now is the time.
Water has been always the underdog of climate change. I always say that you can live in a hotter environment, you can live in a colder environment, but you cannot live underwater and you cannot live without water. When the power of water is unleashed, it can be very devastating and just takes away everything. So you can't stop it, but you should understand it. I founded Davos back in 2016. Started to look into how water was actually measured and understood. I hold a glass of water and I can say, look at this water, you can exactly know how much water is in this glass. So very easy. But if I throw it on the ground, now think about water pouring everywhere in the US, where is it? How do you measure it? How much it is in that corner compared to that corner? And the ability to do that is a very simple problem, a very difficult solution to come up with. So we have created a very large platform, a unique platform, which is scalable and very computationally efficient, that enables people to access data and water information at any time on any device. So with the type of data that we're collecting, we're creating the real-time world map of water. And that is a unique tool that enables us to understand, to see, to witness, and also to use it as a platform to bring it forward into models and forecasts that can help us getting into resiliency planning, getting into adaptation policies, and include those risks of water in our business future. We want to bring the information to the locations which are affected by climate change and that matters to you the most. Yeah, traditionally, water technologies have been very primitive. You put a device which is sending a signal, listens to the echo and measures the travel distance between the water and the device. And with that, they establish a water level. So our devices are based on something very unique. If you have a radar, it sends a signal and then detects an echo. But sending a signal is expensive. So can we actually just passively listen to all the stray signals which are already emitted by satellites around the planet? And the answer is yes. So we are leveraging on all these signals which are emitted by navigation satellites that you use it on your phone, on your car, etc. And instead of using it for the purpose of navigation, we're going to capture all the echoes, all those stray signals that are otherwise not listened to. We're going to listen it with this device. So this is an antenna that is connected then to an electronics component. But this antenna is capturing multiple reflections of those stray signals in front of the sensor. And with this, this information is very rich on certain properties of water. And we basically distill all this information into these water data types. So our data becomes very accurate because it's equivalent to hundreds of those individual sensors everywhere in the field of view of our device. And this is one of the uniqueness of our technology that has revolutionized the way that we're addressing the water problem. So at the end of the day, we cannot prevent disasters from happening, but we can do something about them. If you look at the world, there's people and very valuable people and cultures and that we need to preserve and protect and help if we can.
We have limited resources in the world. So how much we can mine, how much of these materials are available. We want to get away from fossil fuels, so we need electrification. And to go there, to apply these renewable energies and toward electrifications, we need metals. So critical metals called PGMs, platinum, palladium, rhodium, iridium. Metals are vital for this energy transition. We can not only rely on recycling of these metals or mining of these metals, it has to be both combined together. PH7's role is actually in both sides. So in the mining industry, we help mining to increase their production, to extract these metals from lower grade materials that is impossible to be extracted through traditional methods. So in a smelting methodology, in pyrometallurgical methods, you melt down all of the materials to be able to extract the metals, which is only a percentage of the materials. We have an exactly different approach at PH7. Instead of targeting all the substrate and matrix, we target the metals only. So we dissolve the metals only selectively into the solution, and all the matrix and all the substrate stay intact. So overall, we decrease the energy consumption of the metal extraction up to 95%. Do not have any SOx, NOx, any greenhouse gas emission directly from the process because it's a wet chemistry and doesn't generate any off-gassing. And it's a closed loop system, which means that we reuse our chemistry over and over and over again. And in recycling, we are trying to add these metals as much as possible to the circular economy. Every year, millions of tons of these metals are going to landfill without being recycled. And now we mine more and more. We don't have enough materials to mine anymore, and that's the market deficit. So the materials destined to landfill, the materials that cannot be extracted or processed with traditional metals, it can be extracted through PH7's process and having it back into the circular economy and adding them to the supply chain of this renewable energy. We remove the wastewater production entirely. We do not generate any wastewater. That has been always a challenge. It shows how we appreciate the water. And we want to minimize the water consumption in mineral extraction while increasing these critical metal extraction.
Climate change is the biggest problem of our lifetime. We want to transition to the low carbon economy, the net zero by 2050. The success of that lies on the three pillars of innovation, collaborations, and education to ensure that we bring the right technology to address these transitions and we educate the next generations what we are supposed to do to be able to continue all this prosperity in the ethical and responsible manner to the environment where we live in. We are putting $350 million in capital under management to double down on supporting the innovations to support a better world through energy transformations. We believe that this is a good time to be investing and backing entrepreneurs that contribute to energy transformations, replacing fossil fuels, and hopefully we will see the results that transcend the impact for generations to come.